If you're wanting to do a all-day event, you're going to have to do two different bookers. So I created one for the all-day festivals, and you go in here and do the meeting event options. And in here, where it says 15 minutes, I'm just going to click on that pencil right there. And I'm going to go ahead and edit this. So this is going to be my all-day events. And the maximum I'm doing is 180 minutes because my minimum is 3 hours to start these. And then there's 1 hour increments in between. And I'm going to adjust some of these toggles over here to make sure that I've got everything checked off, including a note afterwards, the event, a thank you note to them. I also want to double check these business hours on the right-hand side because I want to make sure that I've got these all set up. I'm going to copy the link, take a look at what I've got, and then be able to see how that all works. So this looks good. Festivals, all-day events, 3 hours. I will call you. Yeah, because a lot of this stuff needs to be back and forth. I need to know where the setup is and what they're expecting for projects. And I go through here and whoops, there's no dates after March. What happened? So I'm going to go back and look at the edit and go into the meeting event options and see what I did wrong. So I'm going to go over on the right-hand side and take a look at what I have. I've got my edit pencil on the left. Sorry about that. And I'm going to add more details of how this works for the events and the 3 different ways that I get paid. Save that. And then I'm going to look at these hours and make sure. I noticed one of them says 11 a.m. So I'm going to change this to 11:55 p.m. so that I've got maximum number of hours because sometimes these gigs go long. It depends where I'm at. So I just want to make sure that I maximize the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for festivals because that's usually when my festivals are. And here's the problem. I didn't put in 365 days. So make sure that if your calendar isn't showing, it's just only showing to 30 days, put in the 365 days and refresh the page, and you'll be able to see that you have your dates set up throughout the year. So yeah, that works. And now if I go ahead and I click on one of these dates in here, I'm going to notice that it does increments of hourly increments. So it's not perfect. This is just something so that I know they've got something set up. They go in here, they click on it. I'm going to give a very basic form. I'm going to create a different form for this specific calendar. So once I go in and I create a different form for this, it's going to be focused on just those special events. Now that the booker is set up, I'm going to go into forms. I'm going to copy the form that I already have for the maker station, and I'm going to make one for the festival specifically because I need to have 2 of these going because they're 2 totally different animals. So I've copied it. I'm just going to go in here and rename this form and say that it's festivals so I know right off the top that this is what I'm doing. Description in the description field, and there I go. This field I don't really need because I already know this is a festival. I know the kind of clientele that are going to be coming, so I'm just going to remove that. And I'm going to replace it with the actual dates of the show. Now, this is a workaround for those all-day events. This is where the customer can come in and say, okay, I want to have you coming in at this date and this time. So this is a really great workaround for all of the concerns I've had because I'm like, how do I do an all-day festival? I can put the start date here, and then I can make another one and put the end date in here. So if it's a 3-day event or whatever, my client can put that date and time in there, and I can just customize this and say festival end time so that I know what those days are. Is it perfect? No, because if it's a 3-day event, it's just going to say, you're there Saturday from 10 a.m. until Sunday from midnight or whatever. So it's not perfect, but it's better than some that have been out there. All right, so I'm just going to keep editing this and go in here because it's not what kind of party. I already kind of know what kind of party it is. So I don't need any of this stuff. So I'm just going to delete it by hitting that gear. And now I can go in and customize this form a little bit more. So that works really well. And I'm just looking things over on each of these tabs. And I decided I don't want to have the contract in here or signature. I'm going to send them the invoice and send them all of that detail through the payment gateway. So this is just to reserve the date. And I'm going to delete these make and take party selections for products because I don't need those. The only one I really need is the retainer, the $157 down to make sure that the date is booked. That is a non-refundable retainer so that I don't have parties unbook at the last minute because that really stinks. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to look for my products. I hit the drop down. I look for the festival, the reserve. That's great. It's in here. And I'm just going to check everything over. So I'm happy with that. And I'm pretty much ready for prime time here. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'll just fill out the form, click save. And now here's where the fun is. I'm paranoid. I'm saving it twice. And then I'm going to go in and exit out of this. And now I'm going to go to my calendars. So I'll select the calendars. Now, I'm just giving you a heads up on this. Hit your pencil. If you've got multiple calendars like I do, hit the pencil and just make sure you're going to the maker station or the one that you're working on. And sometimes this can get wonky, I've noticed. So keep that in mind. Sometimes I have to click back and forth to get to my bookers. But you'll see your calendars set in here for the bookers. And the one I want is the festivals. So I'm going to hit the pencil. I'm going to scroll down and you see the forms. I'm going to delete that form and I'm going to add the form I just created for festivals. There we go. This is so exciting. I love this part. And then I'm going to hit save. And now I'm going to get the link for my festivals. And I'm going to take you through start to finish of what a customer would see. So I'm going to come in here as a customer and I have an event coming up February 17th. So I'm going to select that. I know the event starts at 10 a.m. So I'll select that. I'm going to hit confirm. And then I've got to put my name in here. So I'll put all of my information in here. This is just a dummy test. So putting all the info in, phone number, all that good stuff, because I want to be able to text people. And then here's the start date that we talked about. And this is 10 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever. This is just a demo. And now I'm able to put in my end date. So if you have something that goes all day long, this is a really nice workaround for you so that you can charge your customers and be able to do stuff like that. This was really hanging me up in Square Up because I couldn't do all day things in there for some reason. It's kind of tricky. And now I just put in all of my address information. I say what kind of tool I want, the pink tent. Yeah, I want that. And then I've got my $157 and I'm done.